Hi, PMP Beta. My name is Ryan, and YouTube name is RAPTall. I am a pretty new battler on the YouTube scene. I just started doing this a couple months ago, but I've really enjoyed it, and I just started battling and narrating at the same time. Um, but yeah, so let's get on with the battle. Just so you know, this is a really long ass match. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There were a few points where I even had to doubly speed things up. I'll get to that when we get there. So anyway, he starts out with a Gallade, and I start out with my Hippowdon. Even if he has a super effective move against me, I'm not really worried as he goes for the Leaf Blade because I'm pretty sure I can take a hit just fine, which is exactly what I do, so I know I can set up my Stealth Rocks without any big problems. Now, I don't want to take a second one, even though I know I could probably slack off and I would have more HP than I left off at, but that'd be boring and nobody would want to see that. So I switch into my Celebi, which is going to resist the Leaf Blade very nicely. And assuming a switch, he might have something, another super effective move against me. I don't really know what Gallades can have, but either way, I'm going to go for the Leech Seed on the switch or whatever he wants to do. Goes out into a Tyranitar. Now, this thing could have Crunch. This thing could, a couple things that would be super effective against me. And it might even have some, a specially based moveset, which ends up yeah, it does have the special moveset. Yeah, anyway. So I go into my Hippowdon, just kind of see what it's going to do. Does go for the Flamethrower. Um, and with the Leech Seed recovery, with my Leftovers recovery, I'm still sitting in the green, which is more than okay with me. I forget if I go for the Earthquake here, or... No, I go for the Slack Off here, just to get my health back up to full, assuming that he's going to switch out, so I'm ready for whatever comes in. I do carry the Ice Fang on this. I don't have Roar or anything like that, which at some points might have been nice in this battle, but it is what it is. I go for the Ice Fang. It only does about half, and pretty much as you can see, all these Gliscor parts are the ones that I doubly sped up because these were the super stally parts of the match, and I didn't want to have to just have you sit there going through all that. Knowing that he was going to taunt, I went straight for the Psychic. It's still not doing enough, even though it's special attack. I don't know what this Gliscor is, if it has any special defensive Vs or it just has, a buttload of HP and defense. Either way, at this point, I keep going for the Psychic, kind of hoping to get special defense drop. It doesn't happen, though, as he just Toxics me and goes to the Roost, pretty much undoing all my hard work, or not so hard work. The taunt does wear off there, but I'm going to switch because I'm expecting another taunt, so I kind of get a free switch in. Go into my Tentacruel, thinking maybe with my Tentacruel I can scare him away with a Surf. I don't know if it would KO or not at this point, but I'm going to go for the Surf. He goes switch out into an Aerodactyl. Now, between the Gliscor and his Aerodactyl, they're kind of, the same, just kind of switched on attack and defense. This one's obviously more offensively based, while his Gliscor is more defensively based. But they both carry the Taunt, they both carry the Roost, and I believe they both carry the Earthquake, yes. So really, three of their moves are the same, and the Gliscor is Toxic, and I don't know what this Aerodactyl has, but I know that my Hippowdon can probably take anything else it's gonna do to me. Now, I was really thinking of predicting that Roost and going for the Earthquake, but I went for the Ice Fang just in case. It just wanted to get some damage in before dying, and then I didn't look stupid. So, but here I predict the Roost, I believe, and go for the Earthquake. So, of course, when I do it, doesn't work out. It is what it is. Sometimes you win those. Sometimes you lose those high-risk predictions. Yeah. Anyway, we have another little stally match war between my Hippowdon and his Gliscor. At this point, whenever the Gliscor comes in and I have my Hippowdon or something like that out, and you see me just going for attacks over and over again, the biggest reason I'm doing that is to try and get him to a low enough HP where I'm expecting him to Roost so I can get a free switch in to something that I think can kill it better. At this point, I expect his switch out and go for the Toxic Spikes, I believe. Yep, and his switch into Gallade. And now, this is a pretty awesome prediction on my part. I go into my Scissor because I expect the Psycho Cuts. And as we go along here, yes, so Scissor and Psycho Cut. So I was pretty happy with myself in that move. Now here I was thinking maybe Bullet Punch would be better than U-Turn. I ended up going for the U-Turn, thinking Bullet Punch might not kill and he might want to switch. I don't know. Luckily, the close combat doesn't kill, and with the defense drop, I'm going to get the KO. if I went for the bullet punch before he had that special defense drop, I honestly don't know if it would have killed. Um, so it works out pretty well in my favor either way. Granted, my scissor is pretty low, but I still think it's can be useful later on, which it ends up being. So that's pretty awesome. Goes back out into his Raider, and I am fearing the Earthquake. So I switch out into the Celebi. Take that pretty well. I don't know if I've seen this thing use Taunt yet or not. So I can't remember if I go for the Recover or if I just go for the Psychic. Yeah, oh, I expect him to roost, so I went for the Recover, but he ends up taunting me. I'm like, oh my god. It's just, this entire match, like I said, it's a pretty big stall fest, but every move is really, like, it was long thought out on both of our sides. There was a lot of, waiting for other player to move and all that, because at this point in the match, it's one of those games where the first person to make a big mistake is going to be the person that loses this. So once again, I expect him to go for the roost, so I switch into my scissor. Thankfully, he does go for the roost, which is great because at this point I can bullet punch him. Choice band stab bullet punch is going to beat the crap out of his Aerodactyl. So that was pretty awesome, made me pretty happy, and I'm glad I kept Scissor around and didn't let him die or anything like that. And at this point, I'm going to switch him out because I want to save Scissor for later. Whether he can attack more or just use his death fodder, it's kind of not sure what's going to happen with it yet. Once again, we just go back into the Powdon, and it's a Powdon Glisker, the endless battle of the Titans who can't really do much to each other, except he can do something to me, because he can Toxic me, and sooner or later it's going to screw me over. I just keep going for the Ice Fang, like I said before. I want to get this guy down to a point where I'm expecting the roosts. And once again, that's exactly what he does. And I believe at this point, since he saw me go for the Toxic Spikes last time, he's expecting me to do that again. But I don't. This time I go for the Surf. I do live the Earthquake, which I expected. Granted, I didn't live it well. But it only does a little under 2/3. I'm like, are you kidding me? How in the hell am I supposed to beat this damn thing? It's just ridiculous. I expect him to go for the Surf again. Or the Surf. I go for the Surf while I expect him to go for the Roost. But at this point, I'm like, this is a losing match. This is ridiculous. So I'm going to switch into my Scissor as Death Fodder to bring in one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, the one, the only Aggron. I liked Aggron before it was cool, back before, I'm sure most of you seen that really crazy Aggron poster. It's pretty much just like, what's your favorite Pokemon? I bet it's not as awesome as this fucking Aggron. Yeah, woo! But anyway, at this point, we're just kind of switching around, fairing each other's stab moves or all that kind of stuff, or super effective hits. I finally show my Zapdos, and I don't remember if... Oh, I think we both go for the double switch at this point, mostly because I'm afraid of the Toxic, and he's afraid of... I have no idea. But he goes into the Tyranitar, which is going to get that one layer of poison, so it's just normal poison. It's not... Toxic, badly poisoned. I go into my Aggron, like I said, expecting to resist the Toxic, but now fearing the Earthquake, which, he might not even have, because it seems like all of his moves that I've seen are specially based. But I go in the Powdon. It works out okay, I guess, and at this point I'm hoping that I can survive long enough to Toxic stall him to death, so I don't have to worry about this guy anymore. But he has the Ice Beam, like, oh, crap. Most of the Tyrantars I've seen that have Flamethrower, Ice Beam like that, they would have one or the other. I haven't seen them with both, so I wasn't expecting that. Now at this point, I was kind of hoping / expecting him to die to poison. So I go for the Rock Polish, knowing, or in my head knowing that he's gonna die, right? But oh my god, little freaking sliver of HP! Are you kidding me? The reason why I was really hoping it was gonna kill was because that way I didn't have to take an extra turn of Life Orb Recoil. Sadly, it doesn't work out the way we want to. It is what it is. Expecting, I believe, the Earthquake? Yeah. Expecting the Earthquake, I go into my Celebi, knowing I can take a hit pretty well from this guy, which I do. And I want to get up the Leech Seed, because he's probably going to switch, knowing since he's locked in, he's not going to be able to do much. And I Leech Seed the Gliscor. This is what I've been trying to do the entire match. I feel like this is a break for me. I have something that's got residual damage on this damn Gliscor, so I can finally kill the frickin' thing. So, you know, with Leech Seed, he's down to about a quarter of his health. And I'm hoping with, ooh, excuse me, I'm hoping even though he's going to roost with Leech Seed, that Psychic is going to do enough where I can kill this frickin' thing, but it doesn't. I'm like, seriously? It's not that I can't kill this Gliscor, I can, but it seems like I gotta get every lucky trick in the book to frickin' kill it. At this point, at least I'm getting health back on my Celebi, which I definitely am going to need. I don't know if I go for the Psychic here, Recover. I think I do go for the Recover, expecting him to switch out, knowing that he's not going to do much to me with Leech Seed Recovery. I think I switch out expecting or in fearing the Flamethrower into my Zapdos. My Zapdos is specially bulky, so I knew it could take it, but it goes back for the U-turn into the Gliscor. I'm like, oh my god. Like, please don't roost. Please just don't roost. I don't care what else you do. You can Toxic me. You can taunt me. Just don't roost, because I'm going to go for the Heat Wave here. If it hits, I'm pretty sure that I can kill this thing. And I'm like, yes! The taunt! The taunt! It's not frickin' roost, so I can kill it with the Heat Wave. And that right there is the turning point in this match, because the entire thing was me worrying about his damn Gliscor. Now that it's out of the way, he has just a couple Pokemon left. And I'm going to once again get out of my Zapdos into the Tentacruel as Death Fodder, because I don't know what he's going to do. So he locks himself in an Outrage. Now, what I want to do here, I'm going to go into my Celebi, knowing I can take an Outrage or two, and put a Leech Seed on him. And I'm really, really hoping here, actually, for the 3-turn Outrage, because I want him locked into this move long enough that I can switch into my Aggron, resist the Outrage, and it's, resisted plus Aggron, super physically defensive, so it's going to do practically no. I mean, well, I guess it does a decent amount. It does about 50, 60? I don't remember what my HP was before. But either way, it gets me to a point where I only lost 10, 15 HP after Leech Seed Recovery, which is great. I expect the switch, and I'm going to go for the Rock Polish. Now, he makes a pretty smart play here. Expecting the Earthquake, he switches back into his Flagon, and it's a good play. Now, it might just be, oh, it's stalling him out, but what he's trying to do is get enough damage on this Aggron between his own damage and my Life Orb that the Lucario can come in and either Bullet Punch or Extreme Speed and try and take me out. But he goes for Extreme Speed, and since I resist it so well, it does nothing to me, and I am able to Earthquake him for the win. This was a really long match, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was really nail-biting for me. It was never boring during the actual playing, because I was on my seat the entire time. But anyway, like I said, hope you enjoyed the battle. Please comment, rate, and sub me and my channel if you liked the video. And that's pretty much all I got to say. If you want to read these little credits, I put them at the end of all my other videos. And it's just a little outro thing that I do, try to ask a question to viewers and all that. So anyway, peace out, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.